As Pablo Picasso said, every act of creation is first an act of destruction. This video marks an end of an era which moves away to let another one come. I had to free a lot of space, salvage some material so I can move forward to my future projects. What is to follow, only time will tell. Hi, I am Studio and today you will witness the destruction of a big portion of my garage. I never properly documented both projects that you will see dismantled today, so I figured out it will be still a good video to do it backwards. I will walk you through and sort of review them while dismantling everything into pieces. First off, let's start with the TV stand, which sort of was initially my freestanding monitor one. It has dedicated space for speakers, some model cars and other random electronics. Of course, if you're not interested into this project, you can use the chapter navigation and skip forward to when I deal with some monitors. My open frame gaming PC is also mounted on this construction behind the TV. There's a nice small control box which resembles a car start button. As you can imagine, on the back is a nightmare of cables. I even had to extend it with a PCI Express card with 7 more USBs. The SIM rig got over there is quite complex and I actually need all of them. More details on that to follow later in the video. Right below the gaming PC is situated my work laptop and docking station. As I mentioned more than enough times, I am using the SIM rig to double as a work office. One would wonder, how comfortable could that be? As a matter of fact, much more than you can imagine. I spent these corona times mainly working from the SIM rig. After removal of my Kodi Media Center and the gamepad charging dock, I had to deal with some Govi lights. Over the years I accumulated a lot of their products and I'm quite satisfied with them. If you are interested in buying Govi lights, I will leave some discount codes in the description. My Steam Deck also had a dedicated spot below the TV. And with the removal of the right ambient backlight, we mark this chapter complete. Now let's tackle the gaming PC. The open frame is amazingly very solid and despite being held by only 2 screws, it's actually quite stable. For most of the accessories I am using quick T-nuts for easier reconfiguration. With this out of the way, the gaming PC can be easily removed. Now let's deal with some small accessories like this gamepad charger, a USB hub connected to the mains power and this comfortable keyboard and mouse switch. All of these numerous devices are connected to 2 power strips which both have surge protection. As much as I don't want to, I have to start somewhere with the cables and the TV is the nearest and most obvious place. The laptop charger is also tucked neatly over here, held in place by 2 zip ties. Half of these cables are actually not related to the gaming PC. Here I had a multimedia Raspberry Pi based on Kodi as well as full-fledged multimedia PC used for streaming games. Steam Deck dock was also tucked neatly under there and connected to the TV. Don't forget my work laptop which also had a lot of cables connected. And of course everything was hardwired to the network with the very comfortably situated switch near. This is the main cable pathway to the SIM rig which is held together by Velcro ties. Both data and power cables were coming through here. The goal was to offload as much as possible from the rig itself and move it away because of the motion platform. Yet again, extensive overuse of USB hubs was not possible because a lot of the devices had to be connected directly to the motherboard of the PC. One example would be the 5 USB amplifiers for my bass shaker setup. If you connect 2 of those on USB hub, you start to have quite unpleasant noise. This is the second power strip which has 10 sockets. I think I have to optimize this a little bit in future. It is held in place by those pesky cables over there, a cable strip and some double-sided tape. Now let's free my trusty Corsair SP2050 speaker set. It served me quite well for long years. A nice spot to hide my gigabit switch, providing lightning fast connections to all of this stuff. As you may be hearing my voice by now, even watching these cables make me quite tired and depressed. So let's move to something more exciting and remove all this auxiliary shelving, mounts and some extra peripherals. This, for example, is a Minisforum mini PC mount. Let's use some small half-power tools to remove the subwoofer. Mounted it by using a mixture of angle brackets, self-tapping screws and aluminum car tuning washers. Mounting it in the first place was exactly as easy as removing it. Now let's deal with my custom keyboard tray. It also features a nice padded palm rest. All of this is mounted on an adjustable VESA monitor mount. Don't use gas spring mounts, they will not stay in place as this one. If you want to know more about this project, follow the video which pops in the top right corner. If you are wondering why it was mounted on the TV stand, well, I wanted it to be away from the motion rig. This saved actually a lot of unpleasant rattling around. After all the cables going to the sim rig are separated, I can proceed and remove the second power strip. Again held into place by quick T-nuts and aluminum car bumper tuning washers. Had several shelves for my flowers which are made out of metal bond. As you may have already heard on numerous occasions, this is my favorite material for such kind of projects. It is sturdy enough and very easy to cut. All of those are held in place by 3030 series of profiles as they are much cheaper. These shelves served me well, but I guess now I will have to find a new way to store my flowers near the window. Next to the PC I had some more auxiliary shelves, so I had to deal with them as well. Going back through this process, I reckon I will salvage a lot of material. These 10 cm profiles are quite handy in a lot of occasions and I'm constantly finding myself out of them, so I have to order more. This is the last flower shelf. Now let's deal with it promptly and move to yet another shelf. This is the C-Max Pro computer tray and it is strong enough to hold in place even a full tower PC. Above it you find the infamous IKEA wire cable tray, which is one of the most popular cable management solutions all around the world where IKEA exists. Now let's salvage some more material. I still keep asking myself where these profiles will be used next. I like to keep in stock different sizes of profiles because usually most of my projects are never planned ahead. Quite often I get an idea and I just start building. I figure along the way where it will take me. It's quite unpleasant to finish materials in the middle of a project. Having completed this side of the TV stand, we move in the front and we find some more shelves, surprising. This is one big shelf which wasted a lot of metal bond and had no meaningful purpose. It was holding only some model cars. Cleaning up a bit around, removing some more profiles, and we have to dismantle the speaker stands. Again, they were built the same way. Most of this shelving was from leftovers or remains from previous projects. I'm sure it will come a time pretty soon when they will be found existing in a new place. At the end of this chapter, let's remove some 3D printed angle bracket covers designed by myself. Right about now would be the most opportune moment to mount the original TV stand. Once the mounting system is released, you would like to be able to put it somewhere without the TV tipping over. After the mount is fastened properly on place, we have to remove the bottom support screws. I really hope the top ones will support the TV long enough to remove it safely. This is the time having a helping friend is quite handy. As I didn't have any around, I had to deal with it myself. In order to do it safely, I kept the angle brackets in place so they provide some extra support. No TVs were harmed in the process, another small success achieved all by myself. As you can see, the mounting system is quite simple, so you don't have to buy any fancy pre-made solutions. It's extremely stable and the TV was mounted rock solid. What is left is to remove the main power inlet so we can free the stand and finish dismantling it. Another fast and dirty solution with zip ties and T-slot nuts. What is left minus the bottom cross beams is basically my original freestanding monitor mount. After deciding to switch to integrated mount, I had to keep somewhere these profiles. What better way to do so than making something cool looking, and the best option for this was a TV stand. And it actually turned pretty cool, it quite grew on me. The versatility of T-slots and the ability to expand them so easy was perfect for this project. I was able to make dedicated spaces for all my gear, devices, and even managed to fit some flowers in there. Regrettably, with the current prices of aluminum extrusions, instead of buying new ones, I had to salvage those and reuse them in future projects. It was nice while it lasted and I will surely miss it, but it's just simply an overkill making a TV stand with so much aluminum extrusions. Furthermore, even with the small footprint, it was closing the room and taking up too much space. These cross braces on the bottom were not needed and an overkill, but they provided very stable and nice platform for my printer in subwoofer. Initially I built a smaller subwoofer support, but it was always leaning on one side and it was driving me crazy. Switching to full length supports fixed this issue and aligned everything properly. And now I have two 90cm 40/40 profiles to use as I please. Marvel at all the extrusions that I salvaged. This is material for a lot of projects. And also I freed a lot of space, wonder what will pop up there. But why stop now? With all this gathered momentum I decided to press on and move forward. Time to remove the triple mismatched screens and the integrated monitor stand. In order to do so, first I have to clean all these cables again. It is nightmare arranging them and it is nightmare removing them, but it is not the first time this happens. A little out of frame here, but you can see my Philips Hue light. I mounted them behind the monitor out of pure laziness, but it turned out it works pretty well in my setup. As my ceilings are pretty low, driving the Hue lights at higher brightness gives me enough reflection to create a very nice effect. Now let's remove the portable side monitors. They have their own video, link to which should be popping up right about now in the upper right corner of the video. Also they have new and improved monitor arm. Time to remove my low profile center fan, part of my 3-unit wind simulator, and it's actually quite fun. The idea was to simulate open top cars or sunroofs. SimHub these days supports 3 channels for wind simulator, I figured why not. The Arduino Mega is supposed to power 3 fans, but I never could make it work, so I had to split them on 2 different Arduinos. This complicates the setup, and also this central fan is overpowered by the side ones, so I'm not sure I'm keeping it. Let's take another look how easy it is to remove these side monitors and use them somewhere on the go. As these are portable, I wanted to be able to carry them with myself, and so they needed a quick release. Another device that needed to go is my new Edifier G2000 speakers. They will have their own review pretty soon on my channel. The VESA mount I'm using here is actually manufactured by CMAX Pro and it's meant to be used with a 80mm profile. As I cannot open the monitor cover to remove all the cables, the wind simulator should also be removed. Let's move all my fancy displays out of the way. Yes, I know I have too much of them and some were already removed. From this view angle you can clearly see I deviated from the original Simulat instructions. The crossbar was mounted on top of the longitudinal supports. In this way I could mount them forward so they can support the monitor from the back. This is crucial part of the stabilization of this large monitor. Even with motion it was rock solid. We come to another part of the video when you need helping friends. It's always advisable 2 people to handle this heavy monitor. But I rely on magic. Look ma, no hands. You can see in the bottom of the screen 2 10cm profiles. They are not only mounting points, but they also support the monitor from below. Final cleanup of the rest of the cables. Enough already. These are a lot of USB cables for the numerous devices, such as 5 USB amplifiers, the gear shifters, the wheelbase, and some other miscellaneous things. Also I have great bulk added by the wind simulator, all the displays, the rumble motors on the pedals, And that's it. Time to remove the SimWap integrated mount. It is great product, I really enjoyed it. It holds very stable all these 3 monitors, especially the heavy G9, but it's too much with motion platform on board. And if you're looking into buying SimWap equipment, I have discount codes listed in the description of the video. Come on, make me rich! Still, there are a lot of cables and random devices that need to be cleaned up. This looks like it will never end. All these small parts like wind simulator and displays, they took me forever to arrange properly and have them perfectly fitted, and I regret to be dismantling them now. With this we conclude the long section of monitor disassembly. The sheer amount of devices and random miscellaneous things removed is overwhelming. I really have no idea where I'll store all of those. Now after I cleaned a bit, let's take another look at the whole room. Printer, monitors, TV, sound system. On the top of the cupboards is full of parts. Some of them I removed now, but some of them hopefully will find its place in a new project coming soon. Of course I had to put somewhere the TV, so I took out the granny's cupboard that I used before for this purpose. Originally it used to be cherry red, but with some black varnish and some carbon fiber vinyl I fixed the looks and it looks a little more modern. At some point I imagined it had a mirror mounted on it and it was actually a vanity table. Govy lights operational. Remember, discount code in description and make me rich. Hashtag shut up and take my money. Buy nice Govy lights. Actually they're not paying me for this. Actually it's not bad for a day's work, I'm pretty satisfied with the result. Also quite happy with the decision to remove all this stuff and free up some space. Releasing all the material from the TV stand will save in the long run a lot of money for me and enable me to continue with my future projects. And what will come next? For the most faithful followers who stay till the end of this long video, I will show you a short glimpse of what is yet to pass. Yes, it's a freestand. Yes, it's 3 monitors. Yes, they are mismatched. Yes, all of them are different. And yes, they are offsetted for a purpose. But there is always more than meets the eye. If you're curious to know more, stay tuned and watch closely. Till then, cheers, have fun and see you next time.